everyone to Season 2 of the Dragon Cast. I am Hail Xeon, and with me, as usual, is Miss Mozilla Vulpix. Gaby, say hello.
Hello, we're back. We're back.
Yes, and I'm calling this Season 2 because we are on a Hunter x Hunter-esque hiatus.
Oh, god damn it. We're having back pain and we can't draw, and please get off, please just stop. We can't do anything, I'm sorry.
Also, there's a new Dragon Quest out. Okay, so yeah, for those that have been kind of out of the loop, what happened? So my PC died, and I've talked about this a good bit. My PC was dead for a while, so obviously we couldn't record the podcast. I couldn't edit the podcast. It was not a thing that was going to happen while the PC was down, and. I did the GoFundMe, got a new PC, thanks to everyone who helped with that, and then Gaby had university, and she's been busy.
Oh, God.
So,
yep.
trying
schedule,
to line up something for weeks.
It's more difficult than you think it would be, because we've got two people who live in different countries with different schedules who have just changed schedules with computer things and every issue under the sun. And I mean, not really every issue under the sun, just a lot of random minor issues. And it doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't matter. We're back now. Who cares what happens?
Yes, it is. Yeah, doesn't matter. The Dragon Cast is back on a semi-regular basis, hopefully.
Crossing our fingers.
Yeah, so, okay, when we last left off... Okay, so for those who missed the last episode on Gaby's channel, we actually did the first Dragon Ball movie.
And then we talked about random stuff for like another hour.
Yeah, so we talked about a whole bunch of random shit. So this is actually picking up from the last episodes that we were talking about from the last episode that was on my channel. So we're still in the Red Ribbon Army arc, and we're picking up from those episodes because we talked about the movie on her channel. So if you want to hear us talk about the first Dragon Ball movie, you haven't seen that yet, go to Gaby's channel. It's in my playlist for this series, or you can just go to her channel because she's cool.
I am cool.
All right. You are.
Thank you. I mean, I kind of asked for that, but still.
I mean, hey, there's a reason I asked you to do this podcast and not anyone else. So there you go.
Well, it's because Lance was busy.
I mean, you guys are my two top selections, and also we're like we're less than 3 minutes. We're 3 minutes in. We've already said Lance's name. Good job. Ding.
Ding.
So yeah.
God, we have not left. It's like nothing ever changed.
There you go. Okay, so fun fact about these episodes. Gaby and I actually recorded a Dragon Cast right before my PC died. So that audio existed, and I can't find it anymore on my old hard drive because it's just buried somewhere from 4 months ago.
I can still find mine. Mine still exists. So if you want to hear one person talking to herself with lots of gaps.
Yeah, see, Gaby, being an adult, properly labeled her file, where I probably just gave it some random name and just tossed it somewhere I knew I could find it in the next 24 hours to edit it, where, it's been like 3 months, so I was like, oh shit, what the hell did I call that file? Combing through my folders, I'm like, I have no clue which one of these fucking video or audio files this is, shit. So yeah, we're now revisiting these episodes several months later to talk about them again.
Kind of literally, because we recorded it months ago, and then we're like, I mean, we don't necessarily remember what happens in the episodes because it's been so long. So then we watch the episodes again, and now we're going to talk about it again. I don't necessarily remember all the jokes we made. I think I do know one joke we made that was good, so I'm going to keep that.
All right.
You'll know what happens when I say it. But besides that,
awesome. Cool, because I don't really remember anything from that other than like a few points we were bringing up. But yeah, I still have all my old notes, and I've added some new things to it while rewatching it. So, okay. Where we left off was the Husky filler. We're in West City. They're going to the amusement park, and Husky was hired by the Red Ribbon Army to steal Goku's Dragon Ball. This is a filler storyline, and it's only one episode. It's just really this one episode, which surprised me because I could have sworn this was like 2 episodes. And going back to this episode, I can see why I thought that, because they kind of cram a lot of stuff in this.
Not only that, but I mean, like, you've kind of got this original villain who was, like, introduced in the previous episode and kind of has a unique design. And, like, it feels like Husky has a bit more going for her than, like, essentially kind of almost like, monster of the week kind of villain. It feels like she's got layers to her, so you kind of think she's going to stick around longer and isn't going to be disposable. It's like, I don't know if this is good or bad. Like, is it good because they're putting more effort into the filler, or is it bad because in the end it's so quick, it's kind of disappointing?
Yeah, because honestly, like, when I first saw this, I did not know this was filler, because she does have an interesting design. She does tie into, like, the guys who tried to rob Goku. She feels like just as much a part of this story as, like, Silver did or White did. So it's just like, so for her to just be this one-off thing that Toei made up with this really cool design and this really cool personality, and she even has, like, a cool skill set, because she's not, like, a fighter girl. She's like tactical and sneaky. She's a thief. She's manipulative. And she's all about trickery, so she's a completely different even type of character than anyone else. Like, she has a completely different skill set from anyone else in this arc. So I really kind of appreciate her being here, but it does kind of suck that we only got this one episode with this pretty interesting character, and then she's just, well, that filler's over, time to get back into what the manga was doing.
Yeah, it is like, you honestly could have had a whole mini arc out of Goku having to beat a Master Thief. Because it's like, one thing I did realize, one thing at the start of the episode, it's when they're trying to get into the amusement park and then Husky's following after them, and then so they don't have any tickets. So Husky essentially pretty much has what's essentially kind of like a Master Thief almost like technique, like kind of like a thief martial arts technique in a way. She kind of like just walks by these guys with tickets, and then she just like manages to...
She ultra instincts. She totally just ultra instincts their tickets out of their pockets.
Sure. That's not the metaphor I was going for, but...
I'll just say, because she has that ghosting effect when she's doing it, which is why I say that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
She has like
fair enough. So, because it's like, it always just feels like, like, is this something that Goku could do? Like, is this something anyone could do? Like, are we going to get into a story about, like, thievery and them using martial arts in that kind of way? But no, obviously we don't. It's filler, but, it's interesting.
A thievery martial arts sound like something that would end up in an episode of Ranma 1/2. Because Ranma 1/2 had a martial arts for everything, and it was amazing.
I need to watch that show or read the manga or something.
It's funny. I mean, I think you'll have a good time. But, so yeah, like, Husky just comes in with her skill, or her thief skill, steals a bunch of tickets because they didn't have tickets for the amusement park, and, and she's watching Goku from afar, doing little things to, like, test his reflexes and stuff. Like, she, like, goes and, like, what was that? I think she, like shot, like, an acorn at him or something, or, like, a walnut.
Yeah, like a walnut, yeah.
Yeah, like ricocheted off something, and, like, Goku, like, turns at the last second and catches it, and he's just like, huh, that was weird. And she's just like, all right, this kid's really perceptive, and my normal pickpocketing stuff isn't gonna work on him, but he's dumb as a box of rocks, so I can probably get around that. Also, speaking of Goku being a kid, Goku gets to be a kid in this episode. Like he's like playing around on an escalator and having a lot of fun, just doing that. He's like, like bouncing on a ball and like playing with like little bumper cars and stuff. And it's just like on like a merry-go-round. He's just being a kid, and it's nice to see, like, oh right, Goku is still just a child, and he still enjoys child things, even though he's this adventuring, little martial artist.
Well, I mean, and not just Goku, but also, like, Oolong and Puar are there, and it's one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that, like, Oolong and Puar are also, like, literal children.
Yeah.
Like you forget, because they're kind of, like, these, especially, like, once you get to later parts of the series, they just feel like these weird, inexplicable, ageless characters, but, like, they're, like, children, like, actually. I mean, like, when Oolong is sort of thinking about Bulma, and he's like, when he finds out Bulma's 16, he's like, oh, she's too old for me, kind of thing. And like, oh, okay, Oolong's like younger than Bulma, and it's like, it's interesting to see them be these like actual literal children that they are, even if, like, Oolong and Puar as characters are things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's the weird thing about them. Like, they never get bigger. They never get, like, they never really seem to age. It's just, they don't
develop.
Yeah.
They're just there.
But they are established to be kids in the beginning. Like, we know that they're young.
Yeah, it's weird, but although I've got to admit though, when I was watching this, like the stuff with Goku, Goku being like, having fun at the amusement park, I was just almost like, would Goku find this kind of underwhelming? I mean, like, what would being on a roller coaster mean if you have Kintone? Like, surely you'd find that a little bit disappointing.
Potentially, I don't know. Maybe it could just be a lot about like the atmosphere also, because
maybe
I don't know. Like I maybe like need to like talk to like a guy who's like a skydiver, and then be like, how fun are roller coasters for you still? Because maybe it is just a different experience. But like, but I do, like I said, I do like him, like, just something as simple as being on like a merry-go-round. Like, it's just, he's just like, because even grown adults still like amusement parks. Like I'm in my 30s right now, and if someone was just like, "Want to ride the merry-go-round?" I'm like, "Shit, yeah, I'll do it." I'm not gonna be embarrassed by it. It's fun.
Now just saying this, I kind of almost feel like Goku in an amusement park could also be another like 2 episodes if you really want. Okay, maybe not 2, but like the idea of Goku in an amusement park, that could have been the focus, as opposed to just kind of being the side story. But this is one of those like hypothetical scenarios that's not going to exist because we're too far ahead in the series for them to ever go backwards. But
right.
It's always fun to fanfic it. Let's fanfic it. I'll fanfic it.
There you go.
Sure.
So yeah, we get like Goku being a kid, having fun in this amusement park, and then Husky starts making her move. She dresses up as like a fortune teller, in like, it's like, come to my fortune teller hut, and there, she's like, oh, like, and one of my favorite goddamn jokes in Dragon Ball, is the most juvenile fucking joke ever, but it cracks me up so damn much. It's just like, you have like 2 balls hidden underneath your clothing that are very important to you, and it's like, wow, how'd you know? It's like, oh, like, may I see them? And he just like drops his pants. It's like, here's my nuts, and it's amazing. I don't, it's so juvenile, but it cracks me the fuck up so much.
It's fun. The only thing that kind of like, well, actually, no, one thing I also mentioned something that happened beforehand is like, there's the one point where like, Husky pretends to be assaulted and, they're going to go and save her and whatever. And then it's like Goku initially, he just kind of like runs right past her, just going after the bad guys. And then it's like only when everybody else is stopping to see if she's okay, that he like kind of goes back and being like, oh, hi guys. Oh, are we supposed to talk to see if she's okay first? And it would like, I don't know, it might be unintentional, but almost makes it feel like he kind of didn't know that that's kind of the protocol, and it's kind of hilarious. But yeah, okay. The Goku dick joke.
Well, yeah, there were bad guys to fight. He wanted to go fight the bad guys. Goku has a priority list, and at the top of that priority list is fight dudes.
But yeah, okay. So the Goku dick joke. Well, first of all, for the first time in I think ages, so I could actually update my Goku dick counter.
Yes.
I still have that. And I mean, I actually don't, like, I kind of felt like I lost track, but, like, luckily before everything kind of went, like, everyone's computers broke, I did write down the counter number for this, so everything's okay. The Goku dick counter is still okay, guys.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Whew.
Don't worry.
Because we're still going to get some more Goku dick before Dragon Ball is over, and then once GT rolls around, we're going to get plenty of Goku dick.
Great. But okay, the one.
Don't never get rid of that. We're gonna need it all the way to the end.
All right, if we get once we get to GT back in 2032. But okay, the one thing that kind of it gets a little bit annoying, I kind of gripes me about the whole Goku dick joke. Like, no, it's good, but it's like. The weird thing about it is the whole situation is essentially she wants Goku to show her the Dragon Balls, and then when that happens, she's going to get her henchmen to turn off the lights, and then she'll grab them within the space of a few seconds. And but what's weird is that it's kind of like you assume that the reason that the plan is going to fail is because he shows his balls instead of the Dragon Balls, but instead the plan kind of fails just because they kind of trip. The henchmen kind of trip, and then they hear the commotion, and they kind of go outside, and it's just kind of weird because it's like you what do you assume is that, like, Goku making, like, not doing the thing the Husky wants them to do is the thing that's going to directly cause the plan to fail, but instead it kind of fails because of something completely unrelated to what Goku actually shows, and it's just kind of a little bit weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, and now since you're bringing that up, yeah, I feel like this also kind of feeds into the, maybe this should have been like 2 episodes, so you can have like Husky do a few different gimmicks and like a few different plans.
And this is this is like punchline 1, or maybe even the final one.
Yeah, so like, here it's just, like you said, like, the guys make a commotion, they get called, like, hey, it's those guys, and Goku just takes off after them, and then Husky starts starts making moves on Yamcha, and one of the things I really liked about this scene was that Yamcha was still kind of scared of her. It hasn't forgotten that, like, yes, Yamcha has a girlfriend, yes, Yamcha's more comfortable around women, yet when he is around, like, some random assertive woman who's clearly after him, it still makes him uncomfortable because he still has, he's still awkward around women. He's not horribly terrified.
Still a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's not like he's really had, like, character development where, like, he's suddenly a completely different person. Like, he's still kind of the same person. He just can hang out around Bulma without being scared.
Yeah, so then, like,
Also, he's not he's not asking for people's money.
Yes. Yeah, so, Husky ends up, like, what was it? Like, the actual fortune teller gets revealed, so Husky's outed as, like, the bad guy. And then they start having a bit of a scuffle. And I love how I wrote this note because it says, Bulma catches Yamcha. Groan. Because it just leads into that stupid-ass cliche of,
I know.
like, the woman mistakes the guy for cheating, so then she gets angry and she just picks up a crate, lobs it, like, right through, like, the sheet that's, like, separating them, and just clocks Yamcha in the head and just gives him a concussion.
It's just, I just hate, I always hate these, like, the whole, like, the really contrived misunderstanding cliche, Bulma just happens to be there at the very right moment where it would look like it was bad, and, not realizing the full context because whatever, but, it's just annoying. And also, okay, so I think there is a very, very important thing that we need to address. So, Husky beats Yamcha in a fight. Does that mean that Husky is stronger than Yamcha? How did Husky beat Yamcha? Is it because Bulma threw a crate at him? Like, what is Husky's power level? I think this is a very, very important thing.
See, Gaby, that's why at the end of this arc, Yamcha needs to train with the Muten Roshi because he lost to some random thief woman. It hurts his man pride, and he needs to make up for that by becoming a stronger warrior. That's why he trains with the Muten Roshi. It's all part of his character arc. Yeah, he realizes after...
But Zeon, the power levels. Don't you know he has been training for far longer than Husky has. There is no possible way that Husky's power level could be anywhere close to Yamcha's level. This is bad writing, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, sarcastically power scaling. Feels good.
I know.
Husky goes and gets the Dragon Balls that were in Yamcha's possession. Goku comes back. Shit, that woman, she was a fake fortune teller. She's got the Dragon Balls. Goku, get the Dragon Balls. Also, she friggin' planted a bomb. Get the little device that's on her belt. And this leads to a really weird scene where, like, they leave the amusement park and Goku's going after her. And she ends up getting distracted, like, I think she, like, goes to look to see if Goku's still chasing behind her, how close he is. And she ends up crashing her car into the side of a building. And Goku just takes his Nuebo, pins her to the wall, gets the Dragon Balls from her by tickling her. But, he gets the detonator for, like, the thing. And he's, like, gnawing on it. He's, like, gnawing on this damn detonator. And it's edited in this really weird way where, like, you never see him break the detonator. You never see any of that. But then it's like the counter goes down to 0.
And you think it's going to explode. You think it's going to explode. And then suddenly just, like, cuts to the next scene. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait. I guess he was able to gnaw on the deactivation, but I have no clue because, like, it shows, like, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then, like, it cuts back again and goes 0 again to reinforce the idea, like, time has run out, and Goku potentially failed, and, like I said, like, it doesn't show him, like, snapping, like, you know, like snapping the detonator in two or anything. It just, like, he gnaws on it awkwardly, and then just the detonator just doesn't go off, and we cut to the next scene. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was confusingly edited.
Yeah, the entire last part of this section is just like there are just so many problems with the editing. Like, well, first of all, like I think this is the first example, and perhaps the only example of like them having a ticking time bomb chase, and it's boring. How can you make a ticking time bomb chase boring? But they managed to do it. I think partially because like the actual ticking time bomb just kind of like. It's not really, like, the time isn't really going down until, like, the story says it's going down. It's just kind of, like, whatever. And there's just some weird continuity editing. Like, there's that part. And then there's also, like, that one...
Well, see, Gaby, the thing is, like the timer's going down, but it's going down in, like, Namek time, so we're just not noticing.
It's taking a while for the seconds to go down. I am not dealing with this today, okay? I am not dealing with the Namek time explanation. I can deal with power scaling, cannot deal with Namek time.
Look, okay, like, I'm just saying, like, if this bomb were placed underneath the arena at the Tournament of Power, it wouldn't have gone off for, like, 10 episodes.
Anyway... What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. There's like this weird continuity editing thing where it's like, you know, Goku's Goku's flying after Husky, and Husky's on this plane, and she like kind of just like grabs a gun, and then like it immediately suddenly cuts to her with the shuttle window open, standing out, shooting the gun at her, but it's like, we don't see shooting the gun at Goku, but we don't see like the part where she actually gets like stands up out of the plane. So it just kind of it cuts from like her sitting down to her suddenly up and shooting at him, and it's just like I feel like I'm missing something here. It's like you don't, in terms of like editing, like you don't know if editing is bad until it's like it gets really bad and you're like like it hits you because it's not what you're expecting to happen.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird the way the whole thing is just kind of picked. Because like the first half of this episode I thought was really good. And then, like, the second half, like, pretty much, like, kind of like, as you said, like when they reveal, like, you know, the two lackeys, and they run away, and Goku goes after them, that's when the whole episode just starts falling apart. We get into, like, weird cliches, and just awkward editing, and everything's just trying to, like, wrap up the episode really fast to get it to, like, back to where, like, the manga left off, to where it's like, okay, Bulma's angry at Yamcha, and she's gonna go take off with Goku now, and... yeah, it's just like it's trying to wrap itself up a little too quick. So yeah, this really should have been 2 episodes. Like you get like a couple of, you know, like her trying to, you know, trick Goku in a few different ways, and then you could have had like, you know, the fortune teller thing be the last thing, and then you could have had a more solid conclusion that was just not so janky in its execution.
And now I'm just trying to think of where the like cutoff point would be, but. I don't know. Maybe like at the end of like the kind of basic, like the basic sort of plan, and then like she's gonna like, you know, go like just be like my true big deal secret plan, and that'll be like the next episode. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. You know, if you, like it. I don't know. It's just, you know, yeah, you don't
see like I've watched plenty of Lupin the Third, so I'm used to just like you know, like various different ways to steal shit in an anime.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, you know, because I mean, literally, just go watch some classic Lupin the Third, steal some of their ideas. It'll be poetic. But yeah, yeah, it's like I said, it's half of a good episode. I kind of wish it were 2 episodes to even out its pacing. But, you know, it's some neat ideas that kind of just falls flat at the tail end, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that brings us to the next episode where we start getting back into the manga material, and so something I had completely forgotten about in Dragon Ball was Red's cat. I was always under the impression that Red's cat stopped showing up once they start getting into the manga material, and I was gonna bring that up as a point, but like apparently the cat keeps showing back up even after, you know, they're past that introductory filler. So I had completely misremembered that. I was ready to like make that a point and be like, where the fuck's Red's cat? And then like Red's cat shows up in this episode. I'm like, fuck, Red's cat's still around. So much for that point. I hope I didn't actually say that in a previous Dragon Cast still like an idiot.
I mean, that wasn't even in my notes, so I can't even remember.
Right, yeah, it's just like the episode, like the first shot of Red is just him with his cat, and I was just like, oh crap, his monster cat's still around. And we're now past that early, Colonel Silver filler. Because I was always under the impression, like, I just remembered it wrong. So this is a good reason for me to be rewatching this, because it refreshes me on stuff.
Well,
But yeah, we get the introduction of Blue, General Blue.
Oh, okay, finally, we're getting to actually... villains, they're actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, oh my god. Okay, so I never had a problem with Silver. I've never really had a problem with White. But, like, having Blue show up is such a breath of fresh air, where I'm like, oh yeah, like, this is so... He's such a cooler character. Like, he has so much personality, he has, like, a more interesting style. He has, like, this complete different aura to him. And he's kind of just delightfully Nazi evil, too. So he's like that you love to hate him kind of villain. Like, I mean, like, one of the first things he does is he sees one of his subordinates picking his nose, and he goes, "You're disgusting. Shoot him." And they drag that guy out and just...
Even in the anime,
you
even hear the gunshots. It's like, that's pretty dark. And it's... Yep.
Yes.
Like, Blue is great. Like, he's got a gimmick, and the gimmick's kind of a bit sort of, I guess a bit kind of uncomfortable when you get to...
Gay. He's
okay,
gay.
damn it. I mean, you ruined the punchline. We're not even going to find that out in these episodes. But, I mean, then again, we do get introduced to him admiring himself in the mirror next to a bunch of roses. But, okay, that being...
Yeah, and by like... Well, the thing is, I mean, within, like, 2 episodes, he's going to be referring to, like, one of his soldiers telling him to, like, lose some weight because he doesn't like chubby types.
Yeah, I guess so. That being said, okay, one thing I realized about Blue, which is now going to ruin everyone's things, or not ruin, maybe enhance it, I don't know, it depends. So, I remember there was something interesting about his voice actor, and then I looked it up, and it's Toshio Furukawa.
I had no clue.
So it's Piccolo. Piccolo is voicing Blue. So now you can just imagine basically Piccolo saying any of those lines. Have fun.
Oh man. Now I just want to cut Blue's audio to this various scenes of, oh my god, Blue has some pedophile dialogue. I can dub that. I can dub that over his Gohan training.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm gonna ruin Gaby's day one day.
No. What have I done?
Giving me terrible ideas, and it's amazing.
I regret this immediately. I thought it was going to be fun.
I mean, it is for me, whenever I cut that audio to that scene. Oh my god. So, we get Blue. He's a delightfully evil villain now. He has so much personality. He definitely has a more striking design. Like, he's all, like, straight-laced and proper, like, very, very Nazi militaristic, like,
and he has eyelashes.
Very Nazi military in his aesthetic, and just, very straight-laced.
Yeah, and he has eyelashes.
Yes, and he has eyelashes. He's a pretty boy.
That's how you know. That's how you know somebody's feminine, because they have eyelashes.
Yes.
Simple. That's the anime rule.
Of course. Except, like, I don't know, I feel like in modern anime, like, every attractive guy has eyelashes now. Like, then every anime boy is an attractive boy now, because we need to get women to watch anime, and they'll only watch it if there's pretty boys in it.
Something like that. I cannot vouch either for or against that notion. So
yeah, then we get to the Dragon Ball, and the Dragon Ball we find out is underwater, which that should really be happening more often. Just gonna throw that out there.
I know, right? Like, it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I mean, to be fair, this is not like normal Earth. In fact, I mean, I don't actually know if there even is like an actual shot of the planet ever in the manga. There probably is, but it probably is still mostly water. But yeah, it is mostly water. Realistically, these shouldn't be normally outground all the
Yeah.
time, unless they go in the water and then they get washed up.
I mean, the Muten
to
Roshi,
the land, I guess.
Muten Roshi did say his Dragon Ball washed up on his island.
Yeah, because
So-
I mean, we find out later the only reason as to why this one hasn't washed up is because it basically just ends up in the middle of a cave underwater.
Which really raises some other questions, and we'll get to that.
It's fine. It's okay. Let's get to this episode. Okay, that being said, one random, not nitpick, but one random thing I noticed is, so, Bulma is using the shrinking device to help, shrink so she can ride with Goku. And, it's a good thing the Dragon Radar shrinks with her.
I mean, I guess she could have always handed it off to Goku, but then again, like if she had just had it in her pocket and she shrunk down and it didn't shrink with her, like, it would just, explode in her pocket and possibly kill her.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, I guess her clothes shrink with her. I guess the Dragon Radar counts as clothes. I don't know. I mean, this, we do not need to think about the minutiae of Bulma's little shrinking device, because
Okay, you know what?
Toriyama is not really.
Okay, honestly, though, I'm going to hand it to Toriyama for not being a pervert and having Bulma's clothes not shrink with her and just deliver fan service. Because he very could have easily, had Bulma just
True.
shrink and her clothes not, and then, oh, here's some Bulma boob, side boob and butt shots. Oops. The hilarity. So, I mean, he's giving her a little bit more respect until Kuririn whips her top off in a fight scene later.
I mean, that's not.
So,
until a while, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, Bulma whips out, a capsule full of porn. That's a thing that happens, because she took her dad's capsule by accident. And, of course, her father is just gonna fill a capsule with pornography. What else is he gonna do?
I mean, I guess it's so, nobody knows that he's got pornography, but it's just,
The thing that gets me about that capsule, I'm gonna say is, she hits the button, and she tosses it up, and, it poof cloud of smoke, and then porno mags drop.
Yep.
How do you what happened to the capsule? What do you, because, we've seen with, other capsule devices, it's either a container, and it has a button, and you press it, and it shrinks back down to a capsule, or it's the capsule house, where you, press the button on the side of the house and it shrinks back down.
Obviously, it's a special disposable capsule, and I mean, Dr. Brief
It's a one-time use.
Hey, Dr. Brief created this thing. He can make as many different stupid capsule designs as he wants, the most impractical capsule designs ever made, because he can make them. Okay, damn it, it's his creation. He'll do what he wants with them.
The disposable capsules, the paper plates of the dino caps. Just you use it one time and you throw it away. It's done.
I mean, for all you could clearly come up with things, but it projects a certain surface area, and you put the stuff there, and it I don't know, it puts all that into one capsule.
There's actually a switch inside one of the porno mags. When you press that switch, it all turns back into a capsule.
Something like that. Yes, it's like a Transformers thing. They all they kind of transform together and they just turn into a capsule.
Constructicon porno mags. Okay. So Goku's just whatever, I'll just swim for it. And Goku, whips his dick out as per usual with Goku. He strips down naked for swimming. And, he's just going along swimming, and he realizes the ocean's really deep. I'm not gonna make it. So then he runs out of breath, and he's just like, and Masako Nozawa
so
gives the most,
it is the cutest
it's
thing.
the most adorable performance of Goku, just trying to get his way back up there. It's cute. It's a great little scene, him going Bulma, the ocean's really deep, and
the ocean's really deep. I know.
Can't get to
it's just it's what do you know? The ocean's really deep.
Yeah. But before Goku makes it back there, we get an uncomfortable rape joke with Bulma and the Red Ribbon Army.
Oh, great. This was so weird. I just want to say, especially in context, this is so weird. It's the context is, Bulma's just sort of wandering around, and then she, this place just happens to be where the Red Ribbon Army are. And, I mean, they knew because they saw, there were submarines there and stuff where they were there as well. And so, they go and, she finds these Red Ribbon Army soldiers, and it's just they immediately start shooting at her, but then when they realize it's not Goku, they stop, and then they're oh, it's a girl, and then then we just go to the obvious outcome that ever happens when there is a pretty girl and a bunch of bad guys. Attempted rape, definitely.
Yep. I will say I at least kind of like the like the little bit of fourth wall breaking humor that happened in that scene where Bulma's like scooting away and she says I'm assuming you don't want to play video games. It's like, nope. It's like, is it the type of things that you can't do in like a children's gag anime? Yep. It's like, uh-oh.
I mean, it is,
it is a sleazy, uncomfortable scene, though. It's just like it's so weird that he just kind of inserted.
I mean, I'm assuming Japanese standards, this wasn't as weird and it's uncomfortable. Like it's a different kind of culture or whatever. Different, this was in the 80s.
Yeah,
this was in the 80s as well. Like it's different. It's just nowadays looking at it now.
It was Japan. It was the 80s. It was Japan. It was the 80s. Rape was a very common thing to make.
I mean, Toriyama's like this isn't the first time Toriyama's made jokes about rape. If you ever want to read Lady Red, don't. But it's very enlightening.
I've heard people mention Lady Red a couple of times. I apparently need to look that one up because I want to know it's like a few 2 pages or it's. Wait a second, it's 2 pages and he fit in a rape joke? Jesus Christ! Is it just the rape joke?
It is essentially just the rape joke. Okay, maybe it's like a few pages.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Oh, okay. I see. Hey, they reused that character design for that girl who blackmails Gohan.
Great.
It's just something I noticed. I'm just like looking at this character. I'm like, oh, they reused that character design as that girl who saw Goku or Gohan's teddy bear boxers, and oh my god, there's a prostitution joke in this.
Yes. It's okay. Yeah, I feel like just from mentioning this alone.
What did you send me?
Just from mentioning this alone, we have somehow. I feel like this is going to be demonetized.
Whatever. Like, there's no standard for what gets monetized and what doesn't.
Oh, I know. I mean,
it is completely random.
At the very least, they don't get Bulma actually does manage to kind of fend them off. She does. She throws sand in their eyes, and then she kind of just they just sort of end up on the other side of a crevice, and
Yeah,
then Goku shows up.
They fall over, and then Goku shows up, and
Goku shows up and kind of you think he's kind of almost just brutally murdered the guys, until you find out that they're...
oh my god, he fucks them up so bad! Holy crap!
It's
he goes and dive bomb kicks through one of the windshields and just foot plants right in a guy's face, which is brutal as shit. And then he takes the Nioibo and snaps off the back end of that guy's helicopter thing. And it just crashes and explodes. I'm like, damn.
He's like, did Goku just murder a bunch of guys?
Right? Holy shit. Oh, man. Don't worry, though. I saw their parachutes. It's okay.
Yeah, in fact, by the very next episode, they explain, no, they're okay. I mean, they're not dead. It's just, they were just very severely injured.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things that it's just odd, almost just strange in context. Because you don't expect Goku to be the guy who's just literally going and almost literally murdering people. Beating them up pretty badly, yes, but doing something that's so big that you think that they'd be dead from it? I don't know.
Yeah, holy shit, yeah. And then Goku's like, well, now that the bad guys are disposed of, it's we need a submarine. I bet the Muten Roshi has one, and Bulma's just, god damn it, the Muten Roshi.
I know exactly how this is going to end.
Yeah, it's he's gonna want things in return. So yeah, that brings us to the next episode, and it immediately, it's just holy crap, these guys have been beaten to near death, and someone really fucked up a couple of our soldiers, talking about what Goku did last episode. The thing that I loved about it, people want to talk about repeated animations and reused animations in Super. In this scene, there's they're carrying like one of the Red Ribbon Army soldiers on a gurney, and or no, they're just like they're carrying him to like their little like ER section, and like they carry one off screen, and then they carry the next one off screen, but then it's the exact same animation each time, so it's like the skinny white soldier and then the skinny white soldier again, and not like the fat black soldier after him.
Whoops.
So yeah, like that was just something I noticed. Like right at the beginning of the episode, I was just like, "Wait, what?" I had to like go back. I'm like, "Yeah, no, that was like a big old fat black dude. Like, what happened? Why is he the skinny white guy now?"
It's the magic of the anime. It's the same reason as how Cell created an Extra Cell Junior at some point for Gohan to kill.
Yeah, see, like Gohan through sheer badassery and will manifested an Extra Cell Junior to split in half because he wasn't done being a badass yet. He's just like, I thirst for blood, and it's just pure rage manifested another Cell Junior. He's like, you motherfucker! So yeah, then we get to the Muten Roshi's island, and Umigame's back, which I completely forgot. I completely forgot that he was, like, I'm glad Toriyama remembered that Umigami wasn't there for the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai stuff, because I completely forgot that, the Muten Roshi was just like, oh yeah, Turtle's on, like, vacation or some shit, and because the first thing Goku
on vacation, yep.
Yeah, like Goku was just like, oh, Umigami, you're back, and he's just like, I'm back, Goku, and I'm like, oh right, he was gone for an entire arc. Is it weird for him to have stumbled upon some sexy blue-haired woman living in his house now?
I mean, and yeah. I it definitely does speak volumes about Turtle that when he shows up, it's kind of like, oh, like you kind of don't even remember that he's gone until Goku starts like, kind of being like, it's been a really long time since I've seen you, and like, oh yeah, right.
So the question is, who plays like less of a role in this series, Poir, Lunch, or Umigame? It's just like Toriyama just kept ratcheting out all these characters and not doing diddly with them.
Tell you what, we'll answer that next week. That as well. Could also be it could also be never.
So yeah, the Muten Roshi shows up and he's just like oh, like, did you find your it's like, oh, like you already found your grandpa's Dragon Ball? It's like, no, we're still looking. Which I find it weird that he phrased it like, oh, like, did you already find your Dragon Ball already? As if it's not been that short of a time frame. When we saw Bulma, she made it sound like it's been a much longer time frame. So I have no clue how long it's actually been for Goku, like, in universe time. Because I don't think Toriyama realizes how long it's been either.
Oh, definitely not. But, I mean, to be fair, maybe you could just say that Bulma has a higher expectation of how long it would take compared to Roshi. Maybe.
There you go. Headcanon. It
solves everything. Headcanon answer. See, it is no longer a flaw because we have headcanons. Anyway, so they go and ask Roshi, hey, do you have a submarine? We need to get to the bottom of the ocean. And of course he has a submarine, but of course the submarine is also a flying machine. And Krillin and Lunch are using it just to go shopping because fair enough. So they just kind of have to wait for them to come back.
Yep.
But in the meantime, he says...
The thing is, the Muten Roshi wants something in return for the submarine. And he wants it from Bulma. And that something is the microband. He doesn't want a Pafu. He doesn't want to see any vagina. He just wants the microband. Which he is going to use to nefarious ends later.
Which is, it basically feels like... This is the part we start realizing it seems like the only reason as to why the microband is even there is so they can make these jokes.
Yeah, like, it's so weird that, like, because we were talking about last time, it's like, the microband feels like this weird Dr. Slump joke that just ended up in Dragon Ball. Like, it looks like it's like this weird invention that Senbei would have just made on the fly, and, like, this is this thing I made. But, nope, this is a, this is something that Bulma made in Dragon Ball, and now its purpose is for the Muten Roshi to make a sleazy pervert joke. Yay.
It's just so strange because, like, on the one hand, it is kind of plot relevant because that's how Bulma is flying with Goku, but on the other hand, that's basically the only reason why it's there, besides the whole joke.
Yeah. So yeah, we end up getting a little filler scene because, the Muten Roshi said Kuririn and Lunch were, doing some shopping. So then we get to see the scene that they were talking about, which wasn't in the manga. And normally I like stuff like this. It's like, oh, this character referenced this thing that's happening, and then the anime takes the extra step to like, let's just show you what these characters were up to. Unfortunately, it's Lunch. So it's the exact same thing you would think, which is how Kuririn describes it. It's the exact same joke we've seen plenty of times now. Lunch sneezed, got violent, caused a ruckus, sneezed again, and that was the joke.
Except it's even weirder because, like, we don't actually see her sneezing back again.
No.
So it's like, because, like, she starts off in a nice form and she's shopping, and then she sneezes. Then she goes to her mean form and she starts, like, just beating up everyone, including Krillin. Krillin just trying to stop her, and she just throws Krillin away. So obviously Lunch is stronger than Krillin, guys. Everyone put that onto your power level chart.
No. It's because she sneezed. We all know that Super Saiyan is a 50 times multiplier, so of course he's going to be stronger than Kuririn. It only makes sense.
God damn it!
But yeah, no, like this filler scene, it sucks, unfortunately. Like, it's short at very least, but it sucks because it is the exact same joke we always see from Lunch, because Lunch doesn't have anything else to her. I think there's like a reason that Toriyama didn't cut away to this scene, because it would have been the same joke he's made like 4 times already.
I mean, he kind of already explains, he explains what the joke was going to be, because in the manga, like, when they come back, Krillin's like, oh, I'm sorry it took so long. Like, Lunch kind of, made a ruckus, and then she's like, I sneezed again. So, it's like, okay, we kind of know what the joke was going to be anyway.
Yeah. So we cut back, another little bit of filler, and one of the weirdest segments of filler I can think of in Dragon Ball, where Goku...
Oh my god, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Goku was grabbing sea creatures and stuff and throwing them into a bucket. And then at the top of this bucket just crawls up at the top a little baby sea turtle, and he goes, Dada! And Umigami is like, Taro? My son! I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was my literal reaction. I'm like, what the fuck? The turtle has a son, and he's just here, and they just don't mention it again. He's just like, okay, well, why is he there? What does he do? Is this supposed to be a joke about how Goku's just throwing sea animals to eat, and then some of them would be talking? But it's like, is the turtle like upset at this? Like, no, he doesn't seem upset at the fact that Goku's like, throwing sea animals to eat. Like, he doesn't seem like he's like, actually annoyed at that, but then, suddenly he's a son, and I don't understand, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, it's such a weird scene.
It is the weirdest thing.
Oh my god. Okay, so I just put into the Dragon Ball wiki Taro, and it actually came up Turtle's son. He has a fucking wiki page. It's like 1 sentence.
Of course he has a wiki page. He is an official named character, so...
my god! Oh my god, that's just... Yeah, it's so weird that this one random little filler scene where it's just baby... I don't understand what the joke is with this like
exactly,
tear-filled turtle face, and it's just...
I don't understand. Like, is it a joke? Is it a joke? Is it supposed to something that's supposed to make us relate to Turtle more? Is it supposed to be a joke about the talking animals? I don't know.
I don't know what Toei staff was trying to convey.
Make these weird noises because I literally don't understand it. Like I literally don't understand it.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was... I don't know. It was so weird. Oh my god. Yeah, this is, like I said, it's a weird bit of filler, and I don't understand why they did it, but they did it, so it's there. A bit of a scene that is not filler, that I know exactly why it's here, though, is the following thing, where Bulma's just like, I've had a lot of iced tea, I need to pee.
That being said, this is Dragon Ball. It's like the only time where going to the bathroom is an important plot point.
Yeah, so Bulma goes to use the restroom, and the Muten Roshi's like, yes, now's my time. And he shrinks himself down, and he like sneaks into the bathroom, and he's just like, I'm just in time. And then she's like pulling her pants up and like tightening her belt. He's like, Ah, darn it, I missed it. And he falls off, and he falls in the toilet full of piss, and he gets flushed down it like the garbage he is.
That's kind of harsh.
I'm sorry, but, like, he literally went and, like, spied on, like a 16-year-old girl using the restroom. That's creepy and terrible. Like, so he gets his comeuppance. Like, and at very least, that is the thing. He does get his comeuppance, which is why, I don't necessarily hate this scene, because he doesn't get to see a thing. You know, he doesn't see anything. He just ends up catching her, like, as she's already pulled her pants up, and he's just like, he misses everything you want to see, and his punishment is getting flushed down the toilet.
That being said,
because fuck him for that.
The strangest thing about this is that, like, no, it's not filler. This is in the manga. Nope. And, like, this is something that legitimately does feel like this could have been a filler thing that Toei added in, because, like, it doesn't really affect anything in the plot. It's just kind of there. Like, it just kind of interrupts the main story. And it's like, doesn't really also tell us anything new about the characters. Like, it feels like this is a filler scene.
Okay, no. See, you know, it tells you that the Muten Roshi doesn't have respect for the privacy of women.
But we know that already.
Especially underage women.
But we know that already.
Do we know that he would actually go and spy on them? Because, I mean, you know, grope them, yes. Ask to see their goods, yes.
All right. Tell you what, I'm going to rephrase it. It tells us things that I don't think I wanted to know.
Gaby not appreciating all this character depth and lore about the Muten Roshi, jeez.
Oh, I know. I just hate character depth. Clearly. But don't worry. It's all over because, I mean, well, there's a fun gag that it's like he comes out. He basically tells them that he's going to go. What does he say? I didn't write down the dialogue, but, you know, he says he's going to go inside, but then, like, suddenly he's outside, and, you know, he smells like the sea, and then To's just like, I thought you were inside. What happened? He's like, you know, shut up. But don't worry, because then Krillin and Lunch show up and kind of, you know, all that sort of gets forgotten, like the semi-quasi-filler scene as it is.
Yeah. So, well, not entirely forgotten. We'll get to that, but, so, yeah, like Lunch and Kuririn show back up, and Kuririn, as you said before, is just like, yeah, Lunch sneezed, caused a commotion, blah, blah, blah. And one of the things I like, and this is both in the anime and the manga, is Bulma having this, like just a little moment of confusion off to the side. Like in the manga, it's literally just like, a wide shot panel, and there's like a little question mark above Bulma in confusion, and then there's like in the anime, you just see her kind of turn her head and go, huh? And because Bulma's never met Lunch up until this point, he has no context for her or what she does, or like, and it's these little things that I love when Toriyama remembers these things. That, like, oh, right.
Remembers that characters don't remember each other.
Yeah, it's like these characters have never met, because these are the type of things that wouldn't necessarily cross my mind while reading this. I'm like, yeah, no, it's a big ensemble cast. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's friends. That's Dragon Ball. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, these characters haven't met up until this point in the story. Weird. Even though, you know, they were both in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai arc, but they were just in separate halves of it.
Yeah. Because I keep forgetting, because it's like, you know, Lunch is in the 22nd and the 23rd. I keep forgetting she's not in the 21st. Yeah, because Lunch...
Yeah, no, it's so fucked up that they just leave her. It was so dumb. I don't understand. Like, seriously, you introduced her in this arc, and then, like I said, I am still sticking to the theory that Toriyama introduced her to be the new fan service girl, and then when they were going to the tournament, he planned on bringing Bulma back, and he didn't need 2 fan service girls, so he just left Lunch at the friggin' house.
It would make sense. Also, speaking of fan service girls...
It's like,
I like that Krillin... initially calls Bulma Panty.
Yes, he calls her like, oh, Panty-san. It's just like, it's Bulma.
It's also funny because that ends up being like what the name of Bulma's mom would have been if Bulma's mom had a name.
Right, yeah.
She doesn't actually have a name. It's a long story.
Right, yeah. Short version of that, Toriyama in an interview, it's like, if I would name her, probably Panties, or some iteration of that. So yeah, they get the submarine and we're off to pirate adventures, sort of. We're in the setup for pirate adventures.
Yes, there are apparently pirates in the ancient times or something, and they had pirate treasure around the seas. And I've got to admit, it is pretty
pirate robots.
We're not getting to that, but I do admit it is actually pretty funny to see Mayumi Tanaka talking about pirates.
For those that don't know, she voices Luffy in the Japanese dub,
and she's also Krillin. So yeah, that's you know. Yeah. So Krillin talking about pirates is basically Luffy talking about pirates. So fun times. Mm-hmm. Voice actor illusions. It's hilarious. Although it's not. It's coincidence. This was before One Piece, but yeah.
Yeah. It is ironic though that she would go on to that they brought Kuririn on for this pirate adventure, and then Mayumi Tanaka would be on her own pirate adventure for like the next 15 years.
I think it's 20 now.
It probably is. I think One Piece started in like 2000 maybe, so it's probably closer to like 8.
It's something crazy.
It's been going forever.
It will never end. Something like that.
Nope. So yeah, so a little filler scene that I liked here is Bulma realizes she left her backpack at the Muten Roshi's, and Lunch picks it up and the Dragon Balls fall out. She's like, oh, what are these? Which once again establishing, oh yeah, Lunch has never seen Dragon Balls before. She has this is a new thing to her. Like, she had to explain to her, but this is her first time even seeing them. So it's a nice little thing of like, oh, like now this character knows about this thing.
And I mean, like in the manga, I don't think she even got an explanation, so she probably would have absolutely no. Well, then again, this is a filler scene, so.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Both these are fillers. Oh my god, has Lunch in the manga ever seen the Dragon Balls? I don't remember. Shit.
You know, I don't think she's ever actually seen the Dragon Balls, because they use it at Roshi's Island in Z, but she's disappeared by then. So
yeah, and during the Piccolo Daimao arc, they're collecting them, but she's not with them. She's at like Kame House with like Yamcha and Bulma. What the hell? Oh my god, Lunch may not have ever seen the Dragon Balls before. That's weird to think. She's technically a major character. Shit, fucking Puar's seen the dragon. Wow. Okay. So, we get some more stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. So the one thing that's kind of interesting, though, is that Goku and Bulma and Krillin, who's deciding to tag along, they're all going to go on that submarine at the bottom of the sea to get this Dragon Ball and potentially maybe some pirate treasure or something. I mean, there's no real reason for Krillin to tag along, but I do appreciate it. I think they honestly, it works a bit well having them all kind of play off each other. It's pretty fun. But the interesting...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Toriyama picked that for the dynamic purpose, just to have them to play off of one another.
But yeah, what I think kind of interesting is, so then Bulma leaves the Dragon Balls with Roshi, as you were saying, and basically, the Red Ribbon Army are actually kind of being much more active now, and they actually see Goku leaving, and they manage to find Kame House, and they see that, Roshi and Lunch, and they kind of assume that, like, oh, this is Goku's base, so Roshi, the old man, must be the guy who made the Dragon Radar, because, I mean, who else would make this fantastic technology? Clearly an old man, not some teenage girl.
Right. Yeah, I do love how, like, from an outsider perspective, like, the perception that they have of Goku, of, like, this mighty warrior who's directly interfering with the Red Ribbon Army, and he has this base of operation with this crazy turtle scientist who made him a dragon radar. Like their interpretation of Goku, their fan fiction that they are writing about Goku is fantastic. So, yeah. So then, they split up. Blue makes 2 teams, one to deal with the Muten Roshi, and then one to go after Goku. And then we get, like, Blue giving, like, this big speech to rally up his men. And this is one of the things, once again, that I like about the anime in this arc, is it gives the Red Ribbon Army scale. Because the Red Ribbon Army feels oddly small up until you get to, like, the main, like, Commander Red Fortress, and then you start seeing, like, more dudes. But, like everyone feels like they're kind of splintered off in these very small platoons, and they don't, like, it makes them feel a lot smaller and less threatening. Here, you get to see them as this full-fledged army. Like I said, Colonel Silver had a bunch of guys. Now Blue, you get to see, like, his full team of guys. You get to see more soldiers even in Jingle Village. You know, like I said, it gives them that scale that wasn't there like in the manga. And also, there is some real Nazi imagery going on in Blue's speech, where like you have like that downward angle him at a podium. Just I'm surprised he didn't just salute at the end.
Yeah, that would be. I honestly didn't actually notice that, but I'll take your word for it. Tell you what.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, like it's not like super direct, it's not like he's quoting Hitler or anything. It's just him being like very straight laced, very Nazi inspired. Obviously, blonde hair, blue eye guy standing at a podium giving this grand speech. It's maybe it's just because of the really imposing angle they put on him, where it's like this downshot looking up at him. But yeah, like it gave me this very Nazi-esque imagery. Or like that's what it conjured in my mind was like the Nazis is by framing it the way that they did.
I mean, yeah, Blue is obviously very Nazi inspired, but also, can I just say how surprisingly odd it is that the guy who's sort of like taking on the sort of B Squad, like he has his own name and a gimmick. They give him a name and they give him a kind of gimmick that he's chubby, and I'm kind of like, it's kind of surprising because like up until this point, like any random soldiers are just like random soldiers besides like the generals, but then this guy suddenly is named.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't have like because his name is just Doc.
Yeah,
like he doesn't have a like a color theme to him, which is weird because like even like all the people in Muscle Tower who had names were some type of color to them. Well, except for I guess metallic, but I mean I guess you could argue that. But being metallic also kind of leans into colors.
Yeah, it's just gonna. Maybe it's. I haven't checked the manga of this. I don't know if this is in the manga or if it's an anime only thing. I just thought it was kind of strange. Also,
yeah. I'll say, let me see, because I have the manga right here. I can just go and flip through it.
I didn't bring it with me. I don't want to get up.
Aha!
From
I
my
came
chair.
prepared, and you didn't. Oh crap! I grabbed the wrong one.
You're like, I came prepared, except I got the wrong one.
Aha! There we go. I just put them in the wrong order. They're all mixed up. There we go.
Okay.
But yeah, so then we get the Red Ribbon Army insert song, and it's still.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, insert song. Another one. Except this one is about the Red Ribbon Army, and it's actually really great. I really like this one because it's like, I mean, it's almost like the sort of kind of like the sort of like rallying cries. Like you see all these Red Ribbon Army soldiers, and they're all getting on their airplanes and their secret bases, and they're ready to go out and fight. And you hear this, this kind of very sort of like sinister, but kind of like almost sort of cheesy, sinister sort of song about how the Red Ribbon Army are so evil and they're going to take over the world. And it's like, it's kind of like, it's almost like this kind of like campy sort of like cartoon villainy kind of thing, but it's very specific, and it's very much about the Red Ribbon Army. Like at one point they literally start like naming the different like generals and like different kind of like blue, black, silver, and it's a fun song. I like it. I like the song.
It's one of my favorites so far. And like I said, it's a song about the Red Ribbon Army. I had actually forgotten that this is where this song had fallen originally. It wasn't until like we were doing our first watch through of this for the recording that got lost. But yeah, because I had remembered that this song did exist, but for some reason I was thinking that this song plays at the end, like whenever Goku, because I remember that there's a song where Goku is heading to like the Red Ribbon Army base for the final confrontation.
Oh yeah, that bit's great, but no, it's not that one.
Yeah, so like, and the only reason I remember this song specifically because Lance uses it in his Dragon Ball dissection for the Red Ribbon Army arc.
Yeah, I also.
So yeah, like when this song kicked in, I was like, oh, that's when this song drops. Because for the record, I've only ever watched Dragon Ball in Japanese all the way through one time. So I've only actually seen this arc once before, up until this rewatch. And yeah, like it was, I'm like, oh, like, like this is where this insert song was. And like this is probably my favorite insert song of this arc so far, because the other ones, they've been good, but some of them get a little overused. I do like the little Kinto and Goku song that came episodes ago. But oh god, this arc is so rich in like insert songs, and I love it.
It's
Yes.
great, yeah. It's a song to my thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, that being said, one nitpick I can make about this. Okay, so there's this thing in the Red Ribbon Army base, and it's like, they have this alert thing, and the alert, it just says scramble.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean? Like, I get it's probably just Japanese people thinking like a random word in English sounds cool, but like, guys, I mean, I don't think that there's a real alert called scramble.
Let's see. Well, let's...
Okay, you're just looking it up. It's you just look it up. Then what are the comment sections supposed to do?
Scramble.
Like, actually listen?
I feel like there's gotta be... Because I feel like I've seen that before, where it's like, quick, scramble, like, and like I feel like it's gotta be a reference to some... It's gotta be some militaristic thing, and I'm not seeing anything.
I'm like it feels like it could just easily be some, like, them just not really knowing what English word to use and just choosing something random.
Right.
But then again, why does it even need to be in English?
Yeah.
I mean, it could have just been in Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Well, I mean, the Red Ribbon Army is very Western influence. I mean, all of their names are in English with the exception of Murasaki.
Yeah, they're in English, yeah.
So clearly, like, he was going with, the Red Ribbon Army, and, all their names are in English. So, yeah, he was clearly... Let's see. Yeah, I keep seeing scramble associated with military stuff. Scrambling, military. Okay. The term was used during the Battle of Bretagne, when Royal Air Force fighter pilots waited on the ground.
Bretagne?
Yeah.
Did you just pronounce it Bretagne?
Is that how Britain is spelled? No way. What? Oh, it is Britain.
Yeah,
okay.
Britain.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. I don't know. Don't make fun of the dyslexic.
I don't know either.
When Royal Air Force fighters pilots waited on the ground. Operations. Yeah, okay, it's some sort of military thing. It is a military thing. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to read this whole friggin' thing. Apparently scrambling is a thing.
I'll give them credit then, but it's still a very strange thing to have on a warning sign.
Yeah, I don't know the specific of it, but yeah. Yeah, so it is a thing. But yeah, we get a dope insert song, and then we cut to some good old-fashioned Muten Roshi being a pervert filler gags.
Like, you know how I said the microband stuff felt like filler? I mean, that's kind of because, hey, next episode, we get something very similar to it, and it actually is filler. It's like, which one is filler and which one isn't? Like, this could be a game. Like, you could literally, like, have somebody who hadn't read the manga and be like, which scene is filler? You've got to choose. Only one of them is.
Right. Okay.
It's like the filler and the canon is blurring together, and I don't know what's real and what's fake anymore, Zeon. I don't know what to do.
So, okay. So, I'm kind of glad that they have this filler scene, because there's like a line of dialogue both in the anime and the manga about, like, does Lunch need to take a shower or something, implying that the Muten Roshi had the same goals in mind now for Lunch. And we never follow up on that in the manga. It's just the Muten Roshi is just left to his devices, and you just have to assume, well, I guess he's just gonna go look at Lunch naked instead. But no, like, he does try to, and instead she just comes in cleaning and she vacuums him up. So yeah, like, at least we get some kind of resolution to that, and it's just like the Muten Roshi still did not get his way, because it's really creepy to think that, like, as far as the manga is concerned, the Muten Roshi may have just, waited it out and spied on Lunch, and no repercussions happened from it.
Why is this show making me feel so uncomfortable?
Because it was written by a pervert in the 80s.
Oh. Right.
Yay. This show that's loved by...
But back into the main...
This series that's loved by many across the world was made by an old Japanese pervert. So yeah.
Back to the main plot.
Yeah, so the Red Ribbon Army rolls up on Goku and Bulma and Kuririn, and they're firing at them, and the gunner misses, and fucking Blue is just like, you missed them. Execute the gunner.
I mean, to be fair, he missed several times. It wasn't like once. He missed like all of the torpedoes. But what I do love, though, is then once the torpedoes start hitting, and Goku and Krillin and Bulma are kind of freaking out, and then Goku's just like, I bet it's those Red Ribbon guys. And they're like, Red Ribbon, you mean the Red Ribbon Army? He's like, yeah, I think they're after the Dragon Balls too. And so I think they think I'm a bad guy, so I keep fighting them every time I show up. And then they're like, Goku, how the hell did you manage to get the Red Ribbon Army coming after you?
Right, that's such a great scene. Because like it really establishes that the Red Ribbon Army, that they are like this really well-known, powerful, scary force that even like, Kuririn and Bulma know about them. But like, Goku's just completely oblivious, and it really kind of gets the idea of like, yeah, no, these guys are really scared. It's like, what? The Red Ribbon Army? The most powerful, scary, evil army on the world, Red Ribbon Army? Is what the fuck have you done, Goku? What the hell have you been up to while we were gone?
You can actually kind of imagine it from their perspective. Where it's just suddenly just like, they're just going to go and kill like a Dragon Ball. Suddenly some guy is like, throwing... They're getting torpedoes firing at them. Goku doesn't really seem two-faced. He's like, they're just these guys I beat up. They're like, these guys got Red Ribbon. Like, what do you mean just Red Ribbon? They're like the most powerful criminal organization in the world, and you're just saying you were just fighting them? Goku, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I like how from their perspective, because like Bulma's been with Goku for like a little while now. Like she even encountered the Red Ribbon Army, and she never knew. She had no clue that the Red Ribbon Army was after them, even though 2 members of them tried to rape her. So yeah. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. That wrapped up that one.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the only thing I had to mention was that one thing that's kind of fun little small detail is that when Blue actually does execute the gunner, saying he's going to execute them, the soldier next to him actually kind of looks kind of uncomfortable with it. Having to see that, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice touch. It's like, the fact that the guys are like, oh, hey, my subordinate is being executed, I'm actually, that's kind of uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, that is right. Because, yeah, the guy next to him, like, like he, like, closes his eyes, and then when the gunshot happens, he flinches, and he's just like, like, yeah, that was a good scene. I liked it. So, yeah, that wraps up these episodes, and now time for questions and stuff.
Yes, I forgot. If you excuse me, I'm going to have to find your video because I forgot to bring
That's
the comments
okay.
up.
I am also in the process of trying to find it. I was just going to look up Dragoncast, and that actually made it more difficult. So now I just have to go to my channel and then go to, because I didn't prepare in advance, because of course I didn't, and do this the long way.
Just click on the podcast, click on the playlist. That's what I'm doing.
There we go. Yeah, I was trying to, I was trying to just not go to my channel, and because I thought it might have been faster, and I was wrong and dumb. There we go. I am here. Let's see.
It's like, is there anything that's...
Yeah, I have like a few... Yeah, I have like the some of them hearted and stuff, so I know which ones I wanted to read.
I can see the ones you've highlighted as well.
So yeah. Scroll to the bottom, and we'll work our way up. Oh crap, I just remembered. Something
right.
Okay, so because I actually made a little note to remember to say this. What was it? Not the last podcast we did, but the one before it. During the questions, like reading comments, someone had asked what is our favorite insert songs not from Dragon Ball, and I completely blanked and I couldn't think of anything. And I'm like, I guess it would be this, or maybe this. And, oh my god, I'm so stupid. For those, I want to make a correction. My favorite insert song is Kamsutra Todd, which plays at the end of Evangelion. It's a really great song. It's actually one of my all-time favorite songs just in general, and I completely blanked on it. Like, this is a song, the song's in English, so I actually sing this song from time to time.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. The song is in English, so when I'm like at work, I'll just sit there and sing that song. Like, it's a really catchy song. It's a really upbeat song, and it's a really upbeat song that's playing over a really sad moment in the show. And if you listen to the lyrics, it takes what was a bittersweet ending and recontextualizes it into just a really sad ending. And it's yeah, it's a real kind of like a twist of the knife heart wrencher song, like insert song, but adds so much like extra little oomph to the ending of Evangelion, and yeah, so yeah, that is my favorite insert song, and I completely blanked on it because every time I'm put on the spot for any kind of question, like what's your favorite blah blah blahs, I'm like, what is my favorite blah blah blah? So yeah, Kampsutra Topper from End of Evangelion. Whatever the hell I said last time was not true. It's that one. So yeah, on to the first of these questions.
Questions.
This one is from Didgeridoo. Think about how the Red Ribbon Army and the Tournament of Power are the same length and how much happens in both of them. This is honestly something that kind of frustrates me because like, I know a lot of people enjoy the Tournament of Power. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to rag on people for it, but it is frustrating to think that like the Red Ribbon Army arc, even if you include like the Uranai Baba stuff into it, like so much happens in that arc. You know, Goku goes to so many locations and fights so many guys, and like it's this overarching, expanding adventure. And then you have the Tournament of Power, which it's like over 50 episodes long, and it's get some, like, you know, announce a tournament, get the guys for the tournament, have a big ass battle royale that lasts 30 episodes. But yeah, no, it like how do you feel about the pacing of that arc? Because you've actually been enjoying it, so like at least more than I have.
I used to be enjoying it before I gave up. Okay.
I want you to know that genuinely makes me sad. I loved you being like the yang to my yang, like this, the counterbalance, like because I genuinely respect like your intelligence and the way you approach entertainment. So it was really interesting hearing this counterbalance, a very well spoken counterbalance. Like what is this intelligent person getting out of this series that I'm not? And I was always like interested in your reviews because of that, because it gave me a perspective. I'm like, okay, this is how someone's enjoying this. I got it. All right, that is at least I have some context for this. And now you're just like, man, fuck this show, just end already. I'm like, no, that's my job. What are you doing? You're supposed to be the happy one.
I don't know. Listen. I understand it breaks your heart, and I wish I didn't break. Unfortunately, I did, and once you break, you can't really go back. I mean, at the very least, like, I'm just disappointed just because the actual climax, the part where everything was building up to, is not like that's the only reason. That's the only reason why I broke, because the climax does not feel like a climax, and it just kind of feels like we're just going in circles. And I'm like, damn it! I thought this was leading into something even bigger and better, and it's just leading into more of the same. And that's but okay. You know what? No. Okay. Screw it. Okay. Let's talk about things that. What did I like about the Tournament of Power? Basically, the recruitment is adorable because it's basically Goku going up to all of his friends in turn and being like, oh my god, it's you! I can't believe I completely forgot about you because you're so great! And he does it, like, independently to everybody. Okay, the exhibition match is kind of a bit iffy, but, like, honestly, all of the fights are actually quite solid as actual fights. The kind of, like, wishy-washy stuff on Goku Most Morality is kind of a pretty bad, like, conclusion, but I love the fact that they actually attempted to do it in the first place. Okay, the Tournament of Power, there are some really fun, just like character-focused episodes, and especially, well, I mean, the recruitment as well, there's some character-focused episodes. 88 is my jam, and I don't care what anybody else says. It is like everything I wanted ever.
Is that the Ribrianne episode, or?
No, 88 is the Gohan Trains with Piccolo episode.
Okay.
It is my everything. Thank you. It is my everything. Yes, Ribrianne is amazing. Shut up. Ribrianne is amazing.
I will defend you on that one to my death. Ribrianne is the best thing that's happened in Super. I want her in Fighters.
Please.
Fuck everyone who hates her, they are wrong. She has been the best part.
Okay. I mean, I like cauliflower, so I like cauliflower. Kale, I still don't like Kale, but at the very least, I liked how the two of them played off each other. And having, like, Goku fight the Saiyan girls, I think was honestly pretty fun. And, you know, it all sort of led up to, like the Kepler stuff was really great. Ultra Instinct, or at the very least, Ultra Instinct Omen was the best thing ever. I still can't get over how good the second half of 110 is. That is going to stay with me forever. I swear to God, like that is like the one episode where I'm just like, I don't feel like I'm watching an episode of an anime. I feel like I'm watching watching an event. And I don't even just mean that because of the hype or whatever. Like, there's something about it, it's the way it was constructed. It was constructed so well.
110, was that the Kefla flight?
No, 110 was the second half of the special.
Oh, right. For some reason, I was thinking that was closer to 100. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, honestly, Dragon Ball Super's become such a blur for me. Because, yeah, it's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, I mean, it also helps that, I review every episode individually, so I remember the numbers, It's like, because it's like, I know, like, after the special, we have the Hit-Jiren fight, then we have the cover episode, then we have the Cauliflower and Kale episodes that goes to 116, then we have Ribrianne, then we have, Everybody Dies, the episode, then we have Universe 4, which sucks. Then we have Universe 3, which kind of sucks, but got kind of better by the end. Then we have the final conclusion, and the final conclusion pretty much kind of sucks. Except 122 is pretty good, and I liked 128.
Yeah.
Oh, also the like God of Destruction Toppo was great until Vegeta beat him.
Man.
There's probably more.
Toppo,
but
man,
yeah,
I was really hoping. I was like, oh man. Maybe they're gonna pull a switcheroo, and Toppo's gonna be like the main antagonist now, and like he's gonna be stronger than.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh my god! Because I was thinking like, because Toppo's been a way more interesting character than Jiren this entire time, so I was like, oh man, maybe it's gonna surprise me and do something cool. Nope, we're just gonna take out Toppo. Okay, I guess it's just gonna be Jiren.
I just wanted a fight, and we didn't get a fight. We got a Vegeta character moment.
Look, okay, you need to understand, Gabby, that Vegeta cares about his family and loves them very, very much. And we need to tell you this every other episode.
I can't believe... I can't believe I've gone through the entirety of the Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super, the final act, without you telling me all this stuff. Anyway, I think we've talked about Super enough.
Yes.
That's the stuff I like about the Tournament of Power. Interspersed in an episode about Dragon Ball.
Yes.
I don't know what you guys are watching to hear, but
I think they just want to hear us talk about Dragon Ball in general and like read their stuff and talk about the show. I think that's the appeal.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know. Let's see.
I don't know what the appeal of this show is either. I don't know why anyone's watching.
Right. Let's see. Lias Zaferio. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I butchered.
You've read this before. Like you've read this one before. I'm pretty sure, but I guess to be fair, without actual pronunciation guides, we're not going to get any better.
Yeah, no. If I've read it before, I probably butchered it just as bad as I just did.
Woo!
Well, power scaling, or whatever you want to call it, is really an integral part of the story's consistency. So, ellipses, maybe you shouldn't bash it that much. Okay. So, the reason we're so hard on the power scaling thing is because people make a way bigger deal out of it than I think they need to. Because if you really want to get into the power scaling debate thing, it has been a problem since they started attributing numbers to power levels. Like, Raditz shows up, and he's like, oh, your power level is this much. And then, like, 1 year later, everyone is league stronger than Raditz was, including Yamcha. Like, everyone's just way stronger now, even though it's only been a year. Piccolo has gone from like a power level of like barely 400 to over 3,000. And it's just like, what? And like all he did was like train in the wilderness with a kid for like 3 months or for like 6 months, and then meditate for another 6 months. It's like, that's what? No. So yeah, I mean, like, and those are things that you just kind of have to just gloss over. There are, like, the only times I ever think that power scaling is relevant to the story is with, on an episode-to-episode basis, you can't tell how strong someone is, because that deflates tension, which is one of my big issues with the Goku Black stuff. On any given episode, depending on who was fighting who, one character would have the upper hand over the other for no reason, and there was no consistency on how strong a character was, so I didn't know where the tension lied or who had the upper hand on who at any given moment.
You know,
that's when it becomes a problem.
You know, I remember we were discussing this the first draft we did this. Did you did you remember the response you made for this like 3 months ago?
Say what?
As in, like, last time we were in the original recording for this, when you responded to this reply, you mentioned the Goku Black stuff. So I'm just like, you've been sitting on this for like 3 months.
Honestly, no, it's just like whenever I think about really bad power scaling, like when the power scaling personally bothered me as a viewer, that's what it was. Like, that was the first time where power scaling really was just like, I have no sense of tension here. This is where it's becoming problematic for me as a viewer. I do think there's dumb shit in Dragon Ball where it's just like, yeah, now the Muten Roshi is competitive, and I'm like, what the fuck ever. Sure, why not? Piccolo, because, once you establish this new plateau of power for everyone, as long as you're kind of consistent beyond that point, which, you can make your arguments for the Tournament of Power being inconsistent, I don't think it's inconsistent enough to where it's distracting to me as a viewer. Except for
Zeon, did you just say something that might have been perhaps positive about the Tournament of Power? You can't do that.
I mean, there was that really good emotional moment with the Muten Roshi. I think I teared up a little. Yeah. Like, that was good.
That was pretty good.
And Kefla was awesome. That Kefla fight was baller as hell.
Oh, that was great. That being said, I just want to say also, in terms of, like, the reason why we mock power scaling is because power scaling debates seem to always get really ridiculously toxic, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
And, like, it's actually so ridiculous that you could just talk about, like, I wonder how strong this guy is. And then suddenly it's going to turn into people, like, giving death threats or, like, at the very least, like, putting a lot of emphasis on the whole, like, I am right, you are wrong, I am calculating this correctly, you don't know how to analyze. You don't know how to maths and science and philosophy. So you are terrible and I win. And it's always just like, guys, you're talking about a cartoon. I think it's like, you're just talking about who's stronger in this scenario where the author clearly does not care as much as you do.
Yeah.
Why does this always end up like this? And that's why power scaling is a joke.
See, another reason why I don't like it is whenever it gets into, like, the versus debates and stuff. Like, I had someone ask me, like, who would win, like, this character from this point in the story or this character right now? And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I do not care. That is completely irrelevant. Like, because to me, like, the whole versus discussions thing, like, I hate them, and, like, the power scaling stuff, I hate it so much because it overtakes interesting discussion. Like, there are so many more interesting things that you could be talking about.
For people who like that stuff, that is their form of interesting discussion. And, okay, whatever, fine. Like if you don't care about talking about, like, characterization or, like, the inner workings of, like, how to construct a well-made episode or, like, just, like, stupid stuff, then fine. Okay, if you like doing power scaling, fine, do power scaling. But for God's sake, if you're going to be needlessly toxic about all this, then expect to be made fun of. Because, yeah.
Definitely. There you go. And that gets to the heart of it. Let's see. Since you guys mentioned the architect... Oh, sorry. This was the light B. I'm assuming the B is separate from the light.
Probably.
Yeah. Since you guys mentioned the architecture, I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the best aspect of Toriyama's drawing style?
That is a hard question to make me think on the fly.
Yeah, because Toriyama...
it's like, especially because I'm not an artist. I don't know what's good art. I just look at things.
Right. I mean, I do think, going back to his architecture, I think he has, like, a really interesting style for, like, a very unique style, all of his own, that are, like, for, like, architecture. Like, that, I think, is really good. I love his landscapes whenever he does, like you see, like, Goku, like, on the Quinto, and he'll draw, like, all these trees and mountains, this beautiful, lush environment. And you could tell, like, it's a shame because, like, you can really tell how lazy Toriyama got, because by, like, the Frieza fight, like, the line work's gotten way more minimalist, the environments have gotten way more minimalist, he isn't even coloring in Goku's hair anymore because he created Super Saiyan to avoid that. Like, Toriyama, he's...
Obviously, Toriyama ran out of budget to color in Goku's hair.
But yeah, he's clearly cutting more corners because either he's just tired, or he doesn't give as much of a shit, or he just wants to get it over and done with. And I feel like his work really does suffer from it. Like Super Eye Patch Wolf did a video very recently about, Toriyama's style in manga. And
I never ended up watching that.
You might enjoy it more than I did. But one of the things that kind of bothers me is like, he's talking about the brilliance of Toriyama's, panel layouts and stuff, and how he fully takes advantage of the medium of manga. I'm like, well, I mean, he's really not doing anything more special than anyone who's really skilled at crafting good manga or like paneled fight scenes, like layouts would do. And also, like, he only pulls examples from like the end of the Cyan arc to early Namek, where it's like, where like that's like, to me, like, Toriyama's peak in terms of like his panel layouts, his fighting structure, all that stuff. Because like, if you look throughout the the Cell games, you're not gonna find, or like any of the Android stuff, you're not gonna find like panel layout that is anywhere near as interesting as the stuff he was doing in that tiny frame of time between like the Cyan arc and the Frieza, or like the first half of the Frieza arc. Because even by the end of the Frieza arc, the panel layouts are way more limited. His art style is more angular and more minimalist than what it was in the Cyan arc. So yeah. But yeah, like Toriyama, I would say, when he was at his peak, he had a great eye for action. He had gorgeous details in his characters, and they have a very unique design. Like Toriyama's characters, I was
gonna say, I really like Toriyama's character designs. Like I feel like they kind of have this really nice balance between like looking sort of like kind of realistic and looking cartoony. And I mean, like, sure, it's the case with probably a lot of character designs. I don't know. For some reason, I can't explain why, but for some reason, when I just suddenly thought about, like, Toriyama's character designs, the one that suddenly came to mind was Tapion from movie 13, Dragon Ball Z movie 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's just like something between like the combination, like, the idea that he's just sort of, I can't explain why I like it. Maybe it's like, the combination, like he's just got a lot to him. He's got like the kind of the mohawk, he's got a little like kind of headbandy thing. He's got like the sword. He's got the this very sort of like kind of almost sort of medieval sort of kind of fantasy looking sort of outfit. I don't know, something about his design. It's like, but at the same time, it's like it's not like he feels too completely out of place in like the Dragon Ball movies and Dragon Ball Z movies where you got all these other characters with really spiky hair and whatever. Like,
right.
Even though he's kind of from this almost like different kind of like, sort of like more kind of fantasy world kind of place, he still feels like he fits right in. I don't know. I can't, that is just me rambling. I don't really have an answer, but that's just something I suddenly thought about.
Yeah, like the thing is, though, like, for me, like, Toriyama's aesthetic, the way he draws characters is so specifically him. Like, like if you were to look at like any of his characters from anything, it's just like, like you look at Chrono Trigger, you immediately go, oh, Toriyama drew that. But say like, you look at, say, something like Toyotaro drew. Like, you'd be like, oh, that's someone drawing in Toriyama's style. And that's something that I don't think you can say about a lot of other, like, mangaka. Like, if someone were to draw, like, One Piece, I don't think they would draw it the same way, like, Ichiro Oda does it. Like, they would probably draw it more in their own style that they're more used to. But, like, Toriyama's style is so distinct that other people just end up mimicking it when drawing Dragon Ball characters. Very rarely do you see anyone draw Dragon Ball characters in a style that is not, like, reminiscent of Toriyama's style. So yeah, like, Toriyama's art style and just in general is just incredibly unique and just 100% his own. And the big old monster comment, the final one we're going to end this one on. Of course, Lance got caught up, so he left us some comments, or a big comment.
It looks like this is his fact checking.
Yes, yeah, he's going behind us.
If you guys aren't gonna fact check, it's gonna say if you guys aren't gonna fact check, Lance is gonna do it for us. Woo! Yep. We don't have to think anymore. We've just got our comments. Just pour the comments directly into our brains. We no longer have to think.
So yeah. First off, he points out, we couldn't escape him after all. We just had to mention him because we went so close. We were so close to the end of that fucking that particular podcast that he's commenting on. We got so close to the end of it, And then, like, in the last couple of sentences, you name-dropped Lance and mentioned something from, like, Dragon Ball Dissection. I was just like, yep, there it is. There's a Lance reference. So, yeah. So, yeah, we were close. So he brings up Bulma, Enchanto, and Chi-Chi McRoberts thing comes from the junior novelization of Dragon Ball Evolution, if memory serves. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was also I'm pretty sure it was also in the PSP game. I remember when TFS did a playthrough once at that point, and they did say Bulma and Chanto, and they're like, what?
That just blows my mind, because, like, she calls herself in the movie Bulma Briefs, I'm pretty sure. I don't think...
Maybe?
I could have sworn she called herself Bulma...
I mean, like, maybe she does, but then in the games and the novelization they changed it?
Maybe it was like a last-second thing where, like you know, like, originally it was Enchanto, and then they just
Maybe they didn't want to get the hardcore fanboys upset.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, we do know that when the early design of, like, Monster Goku leaked on the internet, everyone lost their shit, so then they CG'd over it with hairy Gorilla Goku.
Wait, really?
Oh, have you never seen what the Monster Goku looks like originally in...
Nope.
Oh, God.
I have no idea.
Oh, my God, I am so looking this up now. Monster
Oh,
Goku,
crap. In the meantime, I'm gonna go and... So, he also says, that annoying, terrible, stupid retcon that Dr. Gero is the leader of the Red Ribbon Army is from the Q&As with Toriyama in the full-color manga, which I have never actually remembered before. Also, I don't remember what the context was for and why you replied to that. That's the one issue with... And I know, Lance, I know I do this to your video, so I'm sorry, but, like, yeah, it's the one issue when you have, like, you keep continually replying in, like, the same, like, chain of, like, different paragraphs to different parts of the thing. Oh,
I know what he's talking about. It's when we were, I had made a reference to, like, how Gero was, it's like, oh yeah, until, like, Toriyama retconned it in an interview that Gero was the leader of the Red Ribbon Army, and you're like, wait, what? And I was just like, yeah, no, like, that totally happened, like, in an interview. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, he was clarifying what interview that was.
Alright, well, it's okay. Nobody pays attention to the full-color interviews things anyway.
The thing is, Toriyama has dropped so many fucking interviews in, like, the last, like, 3 years. I can't even keep up with them anymore. Like, I used to know, like, all of Toriyama's interviews, but now, like, in, like, the last 3 or 4 years, like, ever since Battle of Gods, he's just been interview, and I'm like, stop, please, stop. I can't, to
be fair, there hadn't been, oh, actually, no, I was going to say there hadn't been many until that whole SL thing, but actually that's not true. There was the one with Toyotaro and the manga, and the other ones, Okay, and the last comment, he says, Z Movie 4 was the first time Watanabe Naoko took the role of Chi-Chi from Shomayumi, so quite a while after the Saiyan arc. The first episode Chi-Chi appears in following that is Z episode 88, which is when Goku begins his fight with Frieza. So there you go. I guess we were wrong.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was something we goofed on because we couldn't remember when the Chi-Chi swap around, because I didn't know about it at all, and then you're the one that informed me that it when it had happened.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I only did it because Lance mentioned it, because I don't know. You know, it's not like I wouldn't have known this stuff eventually if Lance hadn't made videos about it. It was just more like I watched Lance's video before I was looking this stuff up, you know. Like it's, you know, random facts, sometimes they don't just, like, you can't just, like, research them all the time and, like, you know, immediately know every single one of them in, like, one session. Like, it just comes randomly. And you just sent me a message. Okay, what is this? What the fuck is that?
That's Monster Goku.
What is that?
It's the Monster Goku that was originally in Dragon Ball Evolution. That's what Goku was because I think they were supposed to, like, Uzaru was supposed to be like a Namekian also, and that's just like he was going to be some sort of monster Namekian thing, and that's what they went with. That was going to be his monster form.
No!
And when people saw that, they flipped their shit, and they CG'd over that, and, like, gave him the Uzaru gorilla form instead.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what we almost got, and, like, like, it's funny as hell because, like, in the bloopers, because the Blu-ray has bloopers. Yes, I own the Blu-ray, don't judge me.
Too late.
In the bloopers, you actually have, like, a scene, of, like, the Monster Goku, like on, like, the wires and stuff. And I'm like, oh, they are acknowledging that was a thing that they did. But then they never actually acknowledge it. Like, there's no commentary track, so the director can't talk about it. There's no behind the scenes where they're like, yeah, and then we fucked up and made this weird thing, and people got angry, so then we changed it. But yeah, that is Monster Goku from Dragon Ball Evolution. I can't believe you never... Then again, this was before you were in the fandom.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I only got into like 2013. Like, this is all ancient history to me, and I guess clearly the Dragon Ball Evolution coverage just hasn't been well documented because nobody wanted to remember it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can look at that.
It's like you don't see Kanzenshuu retrospectives on that.
Yeah, seriously, where is the Kanzenshuu?
Speaking of,
where is the Kanzenshuu movie guy for Dragon Ball Evolution? I feel really unrepresented here as a diehard Dragon Ball Evolution fan.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, that is...
Well, why does it seem like these podcasts always end with us, like, crying?
Because Dragon Ball has a very sad history when you dig into it for more than 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And yet we're still here.
Yeah, because there's still enough good things to talk about. And then bad things to bitch about.
Right.
So there you go. So yeah, I think that wraps up this Dragcast. Oh man, how long? Oh my god, it's under 2 hours. We did it.
Oh, okay, that being said, no, wait, I have some questions. Okay, first of all, one thing that's kind of amazing in hindsight. So, Crazy Boy 190 and Jin Jusuke were talking about who was going to be the replace for Hiro Mitsuru. And Jin Jusuke actually mentions Aya Hisakawa, who sounds similar to Tsuru. And turns out Aya Hisakawa is going to be the replacement.
Oh, wait. Who is that?
There you go, Jin.
Is that like in this video's comments?
Yeah, yes, in this video's comments.
Okay, oh, okay, it's, yeah, okay, Crazy Boy. Fuck, read more. Okay, yeah, he said, oh, wow. Yeah, someone totally called that. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Also, one more question, because this question's for me, from Banana Tree 25. So, Gaby, are you going to write Android 8 fanfiction? It probably would not. It probably would not surprise you that I have thought about it, and it also has related to Gohan. So, yeah, that was an idea. Idea was basically like post Cell games. Gohan tries to find the Dragon Ball again after the. You know, he basically goes on his own Dragon Ball adventure, and then it parallels the Red Ribbon Army arc in some way, and that sort of relates to him, you know.
And then he can face the Red Pants Army. Right, we're on the same page. We need more Red Pants Army representation. Gaby, I'm glad you thought of that too.
I don't want to talk to you.
Sorry, continue.
No, I'm joking. I am joking, but... You know, it's just like, you know, like I'm just like I'm like thinking on my head, oh, big emotional moments, you know, like, you know, the aftermath of the Cell games, like dealing with the grief of the loss of his father, like, you know, talking about history repeating itself, talking about the parallels between Android 8 and Android 16, maybe having it like, you know, just having this whole like fun and like this kind of emotional adventure, and you're just like, Red Pants Army, do it.
You have to admit though, like, I mean, you know, yours might get people to like tear up and have a heartfelt moment. People chuckled at mine. There you go.
Yeah, only because they're like in contrast with each other.
There you go.
But, yeah. That's what makes us great, our contrast, right? No, I don't know. Yes, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, we're going to get way more contrasty, I think, as Dragon Ball goes on. Where, like, you know, like, I'm gonna be, like, super hyped for, like, the Sign arc, and then you're gonna be super hyped for the... I
like the Sign.
Oh, alright, okay.
I was gonna say, I still like the Sign arc. I can still talk about the Sign arc in ages. It's just, like,
yeah,
you know.
Trying to think of, like, because I know we're gonna, like, start disagreeing around, like, the Cell games, and, like, I don't know, maybe, like, even in the Red Ribbon Army, I don't know, you seem to have been enjoying the Red Ribbon Army arc, even though, like, you seemed like you weren't gonna be that keen on it.
I've been enjoying, like... I've been enjoying it, because, like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, like... there is nothing functionally wrong with it. In fact, it is perfectly serviceable, and it's just a fun adventure. It's just, like, there's just a lot of kind of, like, I feel like in some places it just feels a little bit half-baked. And I mean, the anime has done a good job of honestly baking it up a bit, but it's kind of like I can see what at least the manga was trying to go for, but what the manga was trying to go for kind of feels a little bit shallow. And what the anime does is still sort of limited by the fact that it's filler and it can't really do as much as it can. So I don't know. Like at least that was my main opinion. At least I think that's what my opinion was, if I'm remembering right. Opinions change though.
Yeah.
So, whatever. One day, I'm going to come up to this like Dragon Ball opinions thing and be like, yeah, I'm with everyone else. Red Ribbon Army's the best. Cell Arc is the worst.
Yeah, I mean,
what else is there? Series should have ended after Frieza. Dragon Ball Minus is an abomination that should be thrown into a dumpster fire forever.
I mean, I can agree with that one. I'm not going to fight that one.
What's the other ones? Oh yeah, and the series coming back as a franchise is terrible.
There you go.
And you should not like it because there's no artistic integrity because it's a franchise and you should hate it. Something like that. Yeah, that's it. That's something like it. There you go. I just pissed off people. I probably
also, Broly is best Super Saiyan ever.
No, I am making fun / talking about /
I know.
Okay.
It's just I'm just going with the other popular opinions, the other side of that argument.
It's the contrast again.
There you go. See, like you're gonna become that, and I'm gonna be like a Broly fanboy, and I'm gonna be like Dragon Ball Super was the best. You're gonna be like, what the hell happened?
Oh, yeah, great. Okay.
Turns out I got into a car accident. I now have brain damage. It's how I appreciate these things.
I was gonna say, when's opposite day where I pretend to be you and you pretend to be me?
I can't sound that adorable or Australian, unfortunately.
Damn it. Yeah, that's true.
What was it?
I don't think...
Okay, so my roommate went to, like, click on your Ribrianne video. He's like, oh, yeah, I still never watched the Ribrianne video about, like, the magical girl references, because he's into that stuff. So he was watching that, and... because I have two roommates, and my other roommate, she was just like, oh, she's so adorable. It's just like, yeah, that's Gaby. She has like the most adorable voice ever for making videos on YouTube.
Aw, thank you.
So yeah, a little bit of compliments there for you. But yeah, I guess we can wrap this. Yay. Yeah, so I guess we can wrap this up, and...
Yeah, sure. We did go under 2 hours. Woo!
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the first time we tried this, it was over 2 hours, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think the last one, was like almost 2.5 hours close, like, yeah, which is what we've been averaging.
God, what were we even doing? What were we even talking about?
We were probably just rambling more. See, we're getting better at this. We had a little bit of a vacation, we recharged, we got our S cells built back up, and now we're back to podcast. So we're better than ever. Okay, we have got our podcast Zenkai boost, and now we're just we got our Kaiyokens, and we're blazing through these now. And by blazing through, I mean taking under 2 hours as opposed to over.
This is the important standard that we judge everything by. Clearly,
yes. Everything ties back to Dragon Ball. Everything will be a Dragon Ball reference until the end of time. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to see you guys next week when we follow up with the next set of episodes. Until next time, guys, Xeon, out.
Bye.